Hello, third graders. This is the second lesson of Unit 2, and it's on number stories. There's one thing I'm not going to do with this lesson. I'm not going to do a number talk with this lesson. When I am taping your lessons, I can only have them be 15 minutes. And the last lesson for Unit 2, Lesson 1, I was pretty rushed to finish, and I just felt that I went too fast. So this time I'm not going to do the number talk because this is a important topic that we're going to be talking about, and I want to spend as much time on it as I can. We're first going to review with some mental math, or with our math message here. And again, this is a little bit of review from the last lesson. This is showing us how we can solve some bigger numbers as long as I know my basic facts. So I know that 8 plus 8 is 16. And if I look at 80 plus 80, I'm going to think of 8 plus 8, which is 16. And then here's 1 0, here's 1 0, because they're tens, so I need to add a 0 here. And I'll get 160. For 800 plus 800, think of 8 plus 8, which is 16. Here's 2 zeros because it's hundreds. Here's 2 zeros because it's hundreds. So I'm going to add my 2 zeros here. Now I'm going to change the color of my ink here for a second, because I want to show you what this means in our brackets. So this is 16 ones. This is 16 tens. And this is 16. Whoops, Mrs. Flurry, let's get it right. This is 16 100s. Now over here on the right hand side, I do have a number grid. We can use this to solve some of our problems, but we can't use it to solve all of our problems because it only goes to 100. So I can use it for 8 plus 8. Let's say I did not know 8 plus 8. So I start at 8, and I'm going to just add on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'll get 16. Now, I really can't do 80 plus 80. Here's 80. To add on 80 more, I only can go 10, 20, and I don't have any more numbers left. So that's why it's really important that we get to know our basic facts, because knowing our basic facts can help us solve larger problems. 15 minus 7 is our basic fact. Now I can use my number grid if I really don't know what 15 minus 7 is. So I'm going to start at 15 and I'm going to count back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the answer is 8. Once I know that answer to that basic fact, I can do these other ones that have similar numbers. Here's 15 and 7. 15 minus 7 is 8. A 0, a 0, a 0. It's 80. Again, underline the basic fact. 15 minus 7 is 8. 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, 800. So this is 8 ones. This is 8 tens, and 800 will be 8 100s. And our last page of review here. Basic fact is 6 plus 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. Oh, wait. 26 plus 9. Now, I could do the easy way and just use my number grid, or I want to use a strategy that I know. We have pretty much the numbers are the same except for I have a 2 in the tens place. So that's 20. So that means 26 is 20 more than 6. But I'm still adding 9. So that means my answer has to be 20 more than 15. So 15 plus 20, if I'm stuck there, I can go 15, add 20, there's 10, 20. So it's going to be 35. 46 plus 9. Well, I'm still adding 9, but I'm going to add 20 more because 46 is 20 more than 26. So that means my answer for this problem has to be 20 more than that problem. I can come to my grid, start at 35, add on 20, 10, 20. My answer is going to be 55. It's just another strategy to use to add bigger numbers. Okay, this is a page from your student reference book that you probably don't have a copy of at home. I have added a copy in the math classroom that you can open up. But you can also go to Everyday Math from the hub. And once you get on Everyday Math in the hub, you can open up a student reference book. So this is just some talks about animal nests or animal clutches. All the animals shown on these pages lay eggs. A nest of eggs is called a clutch. Most birds, reptiles, and amphibians lay eggs once or twice a year. Insects may lay eggs during certain season of the year. So we've got a sea turtle. A sea turtle can lay between 70 and 190 eggs at a time. A giant toad, oh my goodness, around 35,000 eggs. An ostrich usually lays about 15 eggs. A python can lay up to 100 eggs. A queen termite, around 8,000 eggs per day for years. Ew, it's kind of disgusting, I'm not going to lie. We've got the Agama lizard, can lay up to 20 eggs, and the Mississippi alligator. Oop, I cut that off there, and I'm sorry. So we'll have to go to the student reference book to find that one out. Sorry, guys. We're going to use some of this information in a little bit to help us solve some number stories. But before we do that, let's talk about how to solve a number story. Well, first of all, you need to make sense of the problem. You need to read the problem. I always tell my boys and girls, read it once, read it twice, read it 600 times if you have to, until you know what you need to understand. And think about, what do you know? What does the problem tell you? And what do you need to find out? What are they asking you to do? Well, then you need to make a plan. What will you do? Are you going to add, subtract, multiply, divide? Are you going to draw a picture, draw a diagram, make a table, make a graph, write out a number model? Maybe you need to use some counters or tallies. Maybe you need to use a number grid or a number line. I tell my boys and girls that when they need to make a diagram or a sketch to solve a word problem or a number story, when we're down here where say draw a picture, draw a diagram, make a table or a graph or make tallies, I always use the phrase, when in doubt, draw it out. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that it has to be a fancy picture that's going to go into an art museum. This is an example of when in doubt, draw it out. Let's say you have 3 tables, and you need to give each table 4 scissors. So you give each table 4 tallies. Count those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many scissors do they get? They get 12. That's an example of drawing a picture. It doesn't need to be fancy-pantsy. Then you're going to solve your problem. You're going to show your work. This is an example of showing your work. Keep trying if you get stuck. If you get stuck, reread the problem. Think again. Try again. Think about the strategies you have already tried and try something else. Then write your answer with the unit. and then check. Does your answer make sense? How do I know? Does my answer up here make sense? Well, yes. How do I know? Because there were 3 tables. I drew 3 tables. Each table got 4 scissors. And I gave tally marks, 4 tally marks for each table. And then I added them up. Yeah, it makes sense. So for each number story, you're going to write a number model and use the 0 for the unknown. You may draw a diagram like one of these to help you solve the problem. These are great tools to use. This is called the total part, the start, change, end, or the quantity difference. And when you read through the number story, it will help you decide which one of these charts or diagrams can help you. So here's the first problem. 2 pythons each laid a clutch of eggs. Now remember, that's a nest. There are 59 eggs in all. One clutch had 36 eggs. The other clutch, how many eggs were in the other clutch? Well, what do I know? I know that there were 59 eggs in all. I know one clutch had 36 eggs. How many eggs were in the other clutch? So I'm going to use a total part diagram because I know how many eggs there were altogether. There were 59. One clutch or one part had 36 eggs. The other one I don't know, so I'm going to put a question mark there. That's what I need to find out. Now I have a number grid here that can help. So if I start at 36, and I count up to 59, that's going to give you my answer of the other part. So 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. So my number model would be 36 plus 23 equals 59. Here's another problem. Jose had $76. He spent some money. Now he has $47. How much did he spend? Well, I'm going to use my start, change, end because I know what I started with, 76. And I changed it because I spent some. Not me, Jose. And now he's ending up with 47. So we're going to put a question mark in the change because we don't know how much he spent. So we can start at 47 and count up to 76 to give us our answer. Here's 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So 76 minus 29 equals 47. Your math journal, pages 35 and 36, they give you the diagrams up here. Read through the problems. Think about what you know. What does the problem tell you? And decide which one of these diagrams will be your best. Let's do the first one together. 2 pythons each laid a clutch of eggs. One clutch had 47. The other one had 32. How many were there in all? Well, I'm going to do the total part because one part had 47. The other part had 32. So I need to find the total. So what number model would you use? You'd go 47 plus 32 equals, you're going to have to figure that out. Then you're going to write the question or answer the question. It's going to be how many, and then you want your unit, and your unit is going to be eggs. Okay, couple seconds left here. Math journal page 37 to do. Here's a game that you can play. It's called multiplication draw. Here are the directions. Now you can on your whiteboard, because I did send a whiteboard home with my learners, you can copy this diagram down on your whiteboard and use it as your record sheet for the game. Okay? Have fun with that game, and good luck on your math book pages.